Hey, I'm here with Mark Rackley, pioneer client-side developer with the Pate Group.
And I'm here with Andrew Connell. He is with Voitanos and the OG SharePoint developer.
Mark and I are doing a workshop together at the upcoming conference, and we're really looking forward to sharing with everybody. Everyone always thinks that we don't get along, but we really do get along.
We sometimes don't get along.
Well, like a married couple.
Well,
almost,
okay, yeah.
But we're not married. It's not like that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. So why don't you tell people about the workshop that you and I are doing at this upcoming show?
Sure. Yeah. So at SharePoint Fest DC, we are going to be doing a full-day workshop called Moving from CEWP Solutions to the SharePoint Framework.
Content editor web part, right?
Content editor web parts, or some people may be using those pesky script editor web parts, but you guys are welcome to. Where we don't.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever you guys are into from the past will help you get there for the future.
And this is like your bread and butter, what you're known as. I mean, you're known for doing these like jQuery with jQuery plugins and the way to customize your SharePoint experience, but doing it the way that just to get the job done.
Well, right, and back in the SharePoint 2007 days when I started doing this, that was really the only way to get client-side development done. You weren't going to create a farm solution whenever you wanted to do like some JavaScript. It was quick, it was simple, you didn't need server access, and it worked the same in 2007 and 2010 and 2016. I mean, it was the way we got things done.
Right.
So they went and they dropped the SharePoint framework in our lap, right? And they're like, this is what you need to be doing now.
And how did you think about that? Did you like it initially?
Well, so I'm like, we got all these files. I could go and create a solution in a matter of minutes to a couple of hours and get something really cool and working.
Yeah.
And then now I have to install all this tooling. And I'm like, what the heck is TypeScript? What the heck is React? How am I going to use all this stuff? What I was doing worked just fine.
Right, but we've kind of moved a little bit where you see that there is a benefit to doing it this way, right? And to doing it the SharePoint framework way. But it doesn't mean that you have to stop using the same tools you used before. It doesn't mean you have to stop using jQuery and jQuery plugins. And so what you and I wanted to do, we've done these workshops before showing how to do this, but we thought that, hey, let's get together and let's do one together. And so we're going to take an existing solution that you would normally do as a content editor web parts type solution, and instead of doing this as the old way of doing it, showing you how you can port that existing solution over to a SharePoint framework solution, still be able to take advantage of it, and explain to people why they want to think about doing SharePoint framework solutions and the benefit of going with a SharePoint framework solution instead of doing it the content editor web part way.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, we've got all these solutions out there that we've been creating for years. So what I really want to do is show people how they can take that solution you have today that you've been injecting on the page of the content editor web part, and what is the easiest way to get that converted over to the SharePoint framework so that you can get your job done, right? There's this best practice world, like all rainbows and unicorns, but then there's the I got to get my job done mode.
Right.
So I'm going to show you how do you take what you have today, get it working in the framework so that you can better prepare for the future.
And then after doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to also take a step back. I guess in doing that too, they're going to see how to set their environment up and running. They're going to learn what is the SharePoint framework, why should they care about it, and then how do they get their laptop set up to where they can start doing this on their own as well. But then we're going to take this the next step further, and we're going to say, like, well, if you were going to build the same kind of a solution, and you were going to do it as like a greenfield SharePoint framework solution, maybe using something like React, then let's see how we could go about doing it that way as well. And so they're going to see, like, here's the porting option, but then here's if I was starting from scratch, here's how Microsoft would like for us to do it.
Right.
So they're going to learn both of those things, and along the way, a lot of dialogue going back and forth, a lot of questions going back and forth between you and me, and we really encourage all the attendees to be asking questions for it as well.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm looking forward to about this workshop, he's going to do a whole section as an intro to React. And to this point, as of the recording of this, and up to this workshop, I have not learned React.
That's true, yeah.
And so I'm going to be sitting in this workshop while he does the introduction to React, and I'm going to be asking questions too.
Yep.
Because it's time I learn this stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity to learn it, and you can see people be able to see like what your experience is in learning it from coming from your background. I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be coming to this session as well are going to be in the same boat. They've never seen it before. They want to learn at least. Maybe you don't want to do this, but maybe it's like hey, this is an opportunity to see what is that like, and do I want to learn it? What would the experience be like? And by the end of the day, they'll see I can either take my existing stuff and I can port it over and use the same jQuery and jQuery plugins, but I can see how to do it with the SharePoint framework, and how to leverage this like a full page app in SharePoint or a custom tab inside of Microsoft Teams.
Yep.
But then they also can learn the more React way of doing it as well. So they can get the whole gamut of this and walk away with a really good understanding of what the story looks like and what my options are.
Yep.
And it's also one of the first workshops that's happening too. So that's just kicking off the week, and they're going to end up having a great week to learn a whole lot more about SharePoint Framework and other stuff.
No, they're going to learn so much in our workshop, they're just going to go home afterwards. So do you want to cut your week short? Just go to our workshop and you'll know everything you need to know.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll stick around for the whole show. Awesome. Hey, Mark, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun.
I am too. It's going to be fun.